You have now entered the lab, episode 133. We are recording live exclusively on YouTube only, August 5th, Monday night, 2024. I am of Escobar. He is Sports Sama. Thank you for joining us. If you're joining us live, feel free to comment, interact with us a little bit while we go live. As always, if you're new to it, we're just going to talk our usual BS about what's going on in our lives, what's going on in the world and sports, and give you some drama and entertainment. So, of course, this episode brought to you by Broward Vintage. Shop on eBay. Of course, all the links for his eBay, Broward Vintage, is on our social media. Just find it. It's at Broward Vintage. I have a couple items. One item that popped up was a nice little warm-up. I like these little warm-up things. They don't do these anymore, I don't think. These this Miami Heat warm-up. Pretty fire. Thought it was nice. It's light, too. What is that?
That's Adidas or Reebok. That's Reebok. I have the same exact one. I have the same exact one.
Early 2000s, maybe?
Yeah.
That's when Reebok had their deal.
Yeah.
So
is that a 2X? I had that same exact one. Same size and everything.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah,
that's a little, I saw that. I love pieces like that are like early 2000s. You got a nice different pattern button up here, a little fashion here. And then I saw this jacket. I thought it was dope. Nice Rockaware back in the day. Black jacket, jean jacket. These will be posted up tomorrow. So shop on, you'll get a great deal. So Broward Vintage, appreciate you.
Do the Rockaware. Do the Rockaware.
Let's see. So just posted on Instagram, Twitter. Obviously, we'll get people wait some time before people log on and interact with us. But this is my second podcast I'm doing in 2 nights. Last night recorded and
bro. Fuck. I get a little Twitter thing out of nowhere, and I'm like, why is the pod getting Twitter notifications? Like we haven't posted anything. And then I go over there and I'm like, oh, this guy just slinging podcast dick all over the place. What's going on? I hope you wore a condom.
If you knew the other person, they don't go that way. So,
strictly talking about podcasts here.
Shout out Kick-Ass Podcast, Ashley, for having me on. Ours is exclusively a wrestling podcast, so she does a great job by herself. Usually, she's had me on twice. The last time I was on for WrestleMania, so we had a good time. We had fun. It was exactly 2 hours. But quality. We went over every match. Kind of had some fun. That's out now on her page, Kick-Ass Podcast on YouTube or wherever you listen to audio. It's always a fun thing to do to have to watch wrestling and then talk about it with a friend and have some fun. But I was at a party. Shout out to Dre. He had a birthday party this Saturday, and we had 3 TVs set up. Left TV was at one point Olympics and baseball. The middle TV was UFC and boxing, and then I got the right side TV. Had wrestling on. So a lot of people were were excited about watching it because those are not people that watch it all the time. And then I think I skewed a couple of people to get excited about it that were talking some trash. All of a sudden, they're watching the TV I'm watching more than the boxing or UFC. So it was a good time. Definitely go give her a follow if you're interested in any wrestling, if you got into it recently. For time, what's going on with you? I know we were just talking right before we logged on. Hurricane season, obviously, where we both live, especially. I think we got our first, kind of serious storm passed by us over the weekend. We were supposed to get rain for 48 hours. It rained probably a combined under 5 total hours of those 48 here. I don't know how it was for you, but what's going on in the world of Fort?
So, I've been just fucking working today. We were supposed to get the storm. It's supposed to be over here in the next, 8 hours, I guess. And it looks like it's supposed to just hang around the Savannah area for a little bit. And if anyone here has been to Savannah and has had rain while they're here, and drove around, they know that Savannah doesn't have the best like irrigation, or I don't even know if that's the right word, but Savannah doesn't have the best drainage, I would say, for their streets. Any little sun shower can flood those streets pretty bad. So if that hurricane does decide to linger, I think I'll be okay here where I'm at. But Savannah, those streets can get pretty flooded really fast. So that wouldn't be that great. But yeah, we were supposed to get some rain today. I mean, it's been raining all day today, but in the morning it was a lot more rain. And Monday morning I'm working at the jewelry store. I'm getting ready. I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, man, it's gonna be dead in that bitch today. Like nobody is leaving the crib to go buy jewelry today. Like maybe if I was working at Publix yesterday was fucking crazy, bro. Publix yesterday was a zoo. I got there at 4, worked till 11, and I got out there at midnight. It was crazy just how behind we were on so much stuff. My store manager said he got there at 12, and all 8 registers were open, and the lines were backed up halfway down the aisles. Like it was crazy. He went and looked at our numbers. We did over 300,000 for sales. He said that was a record day. I told Berto, and he was even like, "What the fuck? Like that's crazy." So yeah, Publix was insane yesterday. But I'm thinking to myself, man, I'm gonna be in this jewelry store today, like just completely dead. I pull up, and my store manager's like, "All right, we're not even gonna open today. This is gonna be a game plan." I'm like, "Oh shit, all right, cool, like dope."
Change
He's
the
like,
plan.
"Yeah, we'll probably be here till about 12 o'clock till noon." I'm like, "All right, bet." So we just pretty much, we just put all the jewelry. We just put all the jewelry up.
Inventory
And
day, or like
yeah,
just
it
do
was
little things.
just putting it all up, putting it in bags just in case it does get bad. Nothing really gets damaged, even though they got insurance for all that stuff. But quick, I got there at like 10:30, and I was out of there before 12, and then got home and just pretty much just been chilling, watched a little bit of Game of Thrones, played some NCAA. That's really what I've been doing with my days, man. Playing NCAA. I got back on Fortnite last night for a little bit with Cheese Sama, my boy Cheese Jake. Played a little bit of that, and I mean, I just been cooling, bro. Nothing crazy. A little Costco. Yeah, we do have a curfew. We do have a curfew. 10 p.m. 10 p.m.
Oh,
to 6
legit?
a.m. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, it's a curfew. Yeah, that's
Damn.
what they're saying. But I mean,
I guess once it leaves Florida, I don't really pay it. I don't get any kind of
yeah, no,
algorithm or anything.
I
So
saw on in on the west side of Florida, it was pretty bad. It was flooding and whatnot. But
you guys
yeah,
are
no,
good. You guys are in an apartment
yeah.
building that isn't by water or anything. So
Yeah,
you guys
we're
are
cool.
straight.
We're cool. I'm not really too worried. I mean, shit. I was telling my coworkers today. I was like, yo, I can't even remember what hurricane it was, but I was in South Florida, fucking at the beach. Category 2, Category 3 hurricane, just in the water,
Yeah.
fucking having a blast, just because the waves
Yeah.
were so tall. Just being kids, bro. Probably stupid,
Yeah.
but I mean,
Definitely.
nothing happened. It was fun. And my store manager, he's from South Florida too. He's like, yeah, man, like that's the best time to surf, bro. That's the best time to go to the beach. Like I had a blast. So yeah, I mean, I'm not too worried about it, man. I think it'll just be rain, and some wind. But if you're in Savannah, it could get flooded. So don't be driving in Savannah if you're listening and you have a sedan or a coupe, a low coupe, because that shit
Don't
gonna
be.
get flooded, bro.
Don't. Yeah.
That shit
Call
gonna
me to
get flooded,
work.
I guarantee
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, that's the mistake you always see in South Florida, in mainly Hollywood, downtown Fort Lauderdale, any major city area, because it's such small streets, and a lot of rain will flood anything, whether you got a good system or not. So yeah, if you got a regular SUV, small car, do not drive. Don't take that risk. If you see a road that you got to overthink about, or like, should I go down? Don't go down, because you're not going to
don't
make
do
it.
it.
You see people ruining their cars, thinking that they're brave. If my audio sounded bad for the first 5 minutes, I fixed it. It was my headphones. My mic was hooked up to my AirPods, not my microphone. I thought it would be, because I did a podcast yesterday. So my bad on that. Cool. So stay safe out there, bro. Anybody else that's going through it? Yeah. buy toilet paper, buy water. That's what they say. I don't know. Wipe
we
your
were
ass.
out of water.
Stay hydrated.
We were out of water, and we got it. No, I'm talking about Publix.
Okay.
Like the shelves were out of water, no water. We got a delivery, I think around like 7:00, and our store manager brought out 2 pallets of water, and they were gone. The 2 pallets of water were gone in like less than an hour, and I bought a case of water just cause never know. And then this morning I told my girl, I was like, hey, fill up the bathtub with some water. She texted me back. She's like, cold or hot? I'm like, it don't matter. It's going like, just in case we need water to flush shit or whatever. Maybe take like a quick bath like they do in Cuba type shit. But that's about it.
The only thing I'm usually cautious about having a house. We do have trees around in our backyard and in the front, but like nothing that would. All the trees around us, our house. They're pretty strong trees. They're not like those fugazi basic trees that, wind can't knock them down, palm trees. And there's a couple other ones, I don't know the name, but they're pretty strong. The only thing I'm really worried about is if the power goes out, not about air condition, anything. I could figure it out. It's just, if I just went food shopping, like you said, and now all that food I just bought, if it's 24 or 48 hours goes bad, but obviously just don't open. We have 2 fridges here. Don't open your fridge or your freezer because once you start opening and closing it, that's less. So I think a refrigerator or a freezer can remain pretty solid throughout. Good thing I got a good neighbor. I think he has extra like generators and all that. So I have a good neighbor. If you live in a house during a hurricane, having at least one neighbor that prepares for stuff like that more than you do is always clutch. So so it came and went here in Florida. Let's see. Let's jump into some topics, have some fun as you guys jump in. You guys can comment if anybody wants to jump in and be on the episode. Feel free. The first topic that I wanted to talk about because it was highly controversial all week and last week was the boxing. This is the first Olympics we've really started to see that social gender equality or inequality of trans people jumping into different sports. And the first sport we're really seeing it have an effect, which you would think it would have the most effect, is combat sports. You're talking UFC, you're talking kickboxing, you're talking, things that could literally have a direct effect on somebody else's livelihood. We've seen male fighting males and if you watch boxing and UFC, people almost die, like close. Yeah. Doesn't happen too often. And thank God it doesn't, but it does happen. Unfortunate situations. And, you've seen a controversial topic of Algeria's IMANE. I'm probably going to destroy the name. IMANE KHELIF beat Italy's Angela Carini in the Olympic women's boxing preliminaries. And there was a lot going on, whether this person is from a country that doesn't allow religious-wise to transition or something like that. There's a lot of either misinformation. Now people in the chat are saying it is a girl born a female. A lot, and there was she was taking testosterone in order. Like I said, I don't know every detail. There were so many facts about it. Immediately it came out, people not with, whether she was transitioning into a male or whatever, but no press releases came out, nothing official from the Olympics. And I thought that was a bad part because if you have the internet saying a bunch of things and then they're going to get hate and death threats and all that, I personally thought to clear the air and all the facts is the Olympics putting out an official statement. I never saw that. Did you?
No, I didn't see anything from the Olympics, and I did see a bunch of stuff. I kind of woke up to it just because it's all in Paris. It's on Europe, and that time zone. So we're either sleeping or just waking up when this stuff is happening. So I'm looking at it and immediately, just the first things I see, I'm just like, oh, this is fucked up. But then, as the day goes on, I start seeing different things that, they were born a girl, but they got XY chromosomes, just different things. They had heightened testosterone levels. I believe
A biological advantage. I think that's what really came out was that's what it was.
Yeah, but I mean, a biological advantage could be, me fighting someone that's 5'2". Just I'm taller than them.
Yeah,
That's
that's
biological.
that's why they also have weight classes for a reason, for sure.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Weight classes exist for a reason. And then just, a lot of things came out, and also I saw that it's 2 boxes at the Olympics
I think
right
the other
now.
one was it China?
I'm not sure.
Or some Asian country. I don't want to sound too ignorant, but I seen the person. Sure. I don't know what country.
But they were banned from the International Boxing Association or something like that because of heightened testosterone levels and whatnot. But the Olympics didn't do anything with it, which it doesn't matter because they don't have anything different. Like
the regulations on it is pretty bad. I heard that they're allowing each country or federation. There's no sync effort to make sure that everybody obliges by the same either rules or regulations. They kind of monitor themselves, which once you start doing that, it's open game. So it's really hard because you got countries, you got religions, you got social, you got a lot of variables inside of that, but it should be black and white, in my opinion, of what should be accepted. And if that person is able to qualify as a female and fight females, then let it go. And there should be no controversy, but there should be a set policy. And I think that's what came out after all that, whether it confirmed a female or not. There's a lot of hokiness in the Olympics with testing and policies that aren't as fluid because let's say that person, she, the Italian girl had to, she obviously was getting hit in the first minute of the fight harder than she ever had. And she knew something was going to be wrong. And she didn't want to put herself in the position to get seriously hurt. So she kind of, forfeited the match in the first round. But I think that's the issue there. My issue isn't about, won't get involved in the X chromosomes and Ys, whatever, but there's got to be a better policy in the Olympics. And the Olympics always proves people are going to cheat. People are going to try to get away with, ways to cheat the system to get a gold medal because there's a lot of money behind the scenes that can be made from it. So I thought it was, if you got to talk about it, I think the Olympics should have done a better job of coming out and issuing a statement for people to educate themselves. Cause I kept on seeing posts, and usually I'm not the type of person. Yeah. I'm not the type of person to see one post and be like, whoop, that's my judgment. That's my opinion. It takes me 20 different people, different credible people, which blue check marks don't mean you're credible anymore, but also looking at threads and really educating. I tried to do the most. And for the first day of it, it sounded like it was one way. It was born one thing, and then they were claiming they were something else, but it came out that they are female to the point where it's been a week and I'm still a little cloudy over it. But yeah, Olympics got to do a better job of policies and regulations, I think.
Yeah, I feel as time goes on, if this transgender stuff does get, more popular, it is more than a 1% of people that identify as transgender. I think that they need to create a own division and it won't be hard.
Something, right? Because you're talking about,
because again, it's not that many people that are transgender, identify as transgender. So, just have a transgender boxing association where, transgenders can go and fight each other. If that's what you want to do, cool, no problem. Like, that's fine with me. Like, I'm not going to have a problem with people doing what they want to do after the age of consent, What I do have a problem with is when you got these kids and you're trying to get these kids to do certain things that I spent 5 hours over the weekend with Mike's kids. And when I tell you these kids were changing their mind every 3 seconds about things and couldn't make up their mind about stuff, that should tell you. And it's little things, sure, but kids don't know what they want, bro. Kids don't know what they're doing, anything like that.
Especially if they're being influenced by an adult.
By adults, and when it's like teachers or other people that, that has some kind of authority over them. Of course, they're, you know, that's where I draw the line. That's what I have an issue with. But once you're over 18, bro, go ahead and do whatever the fuck you want. I don't care. Keep me away from it, and I'll be fine. Don't try and like bring me into it or whatever, because I'm gonna speak my mind, just like you're speaking your mind and you're living your truth. But at the end of the day, do something like that, and you know, create a division for transgender people where they can go in and beat each other up, or
Like
we're talking boxing right now. Yeah, exactly.
That's
Do
kind
that.
of a joke, but it's not a joke. But it's like literally like let's have something else.
And man, the tweets were rolling. The memes were rolling. South Park hit it on the head. You know, whether you know while it was happening, you know, we didn't have all the you know, facts and everything. We didn't know, but I mean, yeah, just create that so that, you know, have a trans men and trans women thing that they can go in and they'll have their own special medals. You know, their medals might be able to change, you know, colors or whatever. I don't know. Do whatever they want for them. You know, that way they feel included, because that's what they want, and roll with that. You know, it shouldn't be. Let's say me, right? Let's just do this. I'm a boxer, right? And I'm a man, but I decide I'm a woman now, and for whatever reason, I'm not doing that great fighting other men. And I just be like, all right, cool. Now I feel like I'm a woman. So these next 4 years, I'm identifying as a woman. I'm training for boxing, and I'm great, right? Of course, if I go fight a woman, I mean, if I'm an Olympic athlete, you know, this person is probably trained. They're pretty good. I'm sure that, you know, they've dedicated some part of their life to this craft or whatever. So I'm sure they can fight. I'm sure they can box in some way. I don't think they're better than our boy Dre Day. Happy birthday. But, you know, they can still do it. They trained all that, and now me as a man has to go fight a woman. I'm still a man.
Yeah.
Still a man. It doesn't matter what I identify as. It doesn't matter what I think. I biologically, I'm still a man. If I train and I go fight a woman, clearly I'm going to have, like you said, a biological advantage to a woman. And I'm probably going to cause some harm to them, more than another woman would cause to that woman fighting. So, yeah, just give them their own division, give them their own thing. Yeah, of course. It's happening in swimming. We saw it's happening in a lot of sports. Yeah. So give them their own thing. Let them do whatever they want and keep it rolling.
Yeah, if it's gonna be a thing moving forward, which is fine. It's the way of life, and whatever, you can do what you want. But that's where socially, I don't care what you do. Literally, don't care. I don't have to celebrate it. I don't have to be, you know, waving a flag outside of my house to support you. I just do what you want. Don't force it down my throat socially.
Pause.
But when it comes to sports and it comes to being level playing field, we're not talking gymnastics or basketball. We're talking, you know, people trying to hurt somebody, and that's what you're trying to do in combat sports. You're trying to literally make sure the other person is not able to get up. Is not able to get up. Like, if you want to break down what boxing is and UFC, it's like I'm trying to make sure that they get unconscious where they can't get up and fight and hurt me. So when it gets to that, I get a little bit more serious about it, because but like I said, the Olympics, all these pro leagues now have to be uncomfortable a little bit, because it will make them feel uncomfortable by creating new policies and some regulations. They can't just act like it's not going to happen, because it's only a couple people now, but in 4 years when they have the Olympics in LA, will it be something? That's what I mean. Will it be? Will it go from 2 or 3 people to now 10, 12, and now in different sports? And so then you got to do it now. And I think they haven't done a good enough job of establishing, so people actually, the viewers, know. And by not having a policy or something that we could actually understand, now it lets other people think what they want, put out bad information or false information. And that's where we're going to go off of. That's what people do. Humans, they talk, and then now that's on social media, and they get influence, and that's how it is. So I always blame the governing bodies first, because they should create a policy so nobody's confused about it. So that's all I have to say about that.
Unfortunately, we live in a world, and this was, I mean, it's gone back since social media age, but what really pissed me off was when with the whole, you know, Kobe Bryant and his daughter, you know, when they got killed in the helicopter crash. We live in a world where people aren't worried about getting facts right before they publish something. People aren't worried about making sure that everything they're about to post on social media is correct and they have all the facts and they have everything that they know about it. They're just trying to make sure that they get it out as quickly as possible and to as many people as possible. They don't care who's it going to affect. They don't care what other people, you know, they don't care what kind of, like, not clout, but they don't care what reach they have, I guess.
Oh yeah,
because
that gets,
if they have 200,000 followers, they're like, cool, I could reach out more people. I could have more people coming on my website.
Exactly.
So they're more worried about trying to get their story out first, regardless of who's going to be affected by it, or who's going to be, you know, who's going to see it, just to get it out. And that
100%.
needs to change.
Yeah. Other than it hasn't been. I've been having the Olympics on every day in the morning. First thing I do is I'll put on whatever show I'm watching on the right TV, and then on the left TV, I'll put on the Olympics. Golf just finished over the weekend. Gymnastics is finishing up. Basketball is starting to get into the elimination round after tomorrow, I believe. U.S. men beat Puerto Rico pretty handily. They got Brazil on Tuesday, which is tomorrow morning or afternoon. So now we're going to start getting into, now I know the running and has started, and that's always one of the best events, all those men and women. USA's handling business. They're getting medals. I think USA's getting a lot of medals in things that they wouldn't get before, like those small events, whether it's speed walking or like table tennis, like where the sports like that, the 3-on-3 is going on, which is, to me, it's not as cool as I thought it would be. It just the 3-on-3 basketball, to me, watching it, it's like watching just like a pickup game, just quick shots, because I think they have the shot clock is like 12 seconds. So it's like get the ball, set a pick, shoot a shot. It's like LA Fit. It's like LA Fitness half court.
I'm cool with that. I think that's dope. I think it's a little different. I think it's a different game, of course, than full court. So that's why you don't really see that. You don't really see the NBA players, like, you got Jimmer Fredette in there who's hooping, who's always been a hooper.
I think he got hurt too. Seriously.
Yeah, he got hurt. He had I seen he was getting that groin rubbed. Pretty aggressively on the sidelines, But I mean, that's just leading up for the next Olympics. We saw that they're doing flag football.
Yeah, that was announced today. Yeah, Jalen Hurts is the official,
of course he
brand
is.
ambassador of that.
Of course he is.
It's
bro.
funny
you
because
see that guy. You see that guy? Bro? He's probably one of the most handsome dudes in the NFL. I ain't even gonna lie, bro. I hate that guy.
He's a good-looking guy. He's in my
with his little hoop earrings and shit.
He's a good-looking dude. Yeah, when it came out today, they did a commercial or whatever on promoting it, and at first it's him throwing a football into the flame, and it's like football is back for next Olympics. So I'm like, oh shoot, they're gonna have football. I knew obviously it's not gonna be NFL players. I thought they would do like an under 20 or something like that, and they're doing flag football for men and women. That's cool, something new, something different. We should win in that. You would think we would be the favorites, but you never know. You got 4 years, a lot of money behind it in the first kind of sport or new sport in the Olympics. So you never know what these other countries will invest in money, but we should. I think they just started this year. A couple of weeks ago, they were doing flag football. Staten Island under 18 girls, I think, or 16, under 16, won a championship. They had different divisions of age, and that was pretty cool. It was interesting to see. I think Peyton Manning and Omaha Productions are doing like a new thing on ESPN every year. That probably helped promote it a little bit, that he's involved. It's like the Little League World Series. They're starting to do that every year now on ESPN. Something different for young kids to get involved with. And I would say most of those people that were in that tournament a couple of weeks ago on ESPN will probably be in the Olympics, 4 years from now. They'll be at age where they could play. So that'd be cool to see. I'm trying to think anything else. Obviously,
this was one of my favorite things that I've seen. I didn't watch this live, but man, I love fucking ping pong, bro. Whenever there's a ping pong table at a bar or something, I try to get into it. I try to get into that action, especially when I'm a little bit drunk. Table tennis. Anthony Edwards, huge fan of table tennis.
Yeah,
I love it. I love seeing the fucking NBA, the Olympic basketball team like locked in, bro. This kind of shit, like next time I see a fucking table tennis table, I'm gonna try this shit. It's not gonna go well, but this is the gold medal match right here. Talk to me, dog.
Try to do it in like
Hitting me, bro. That was nasty. They call that the snake shot. I don't know why, but
that's awesome.
That was sick.
Did you see this guy? I seen this guy and I thought of you immediately.
Oh yeah, he a real shooter. He a real shooter,
right?
Yeah.
Everybody else has like kind of gear on with like the
they had like the
one eye so you could
blocking
aim.
the eye.
This guy just did it with glasses on.
He,
that looks so badass. There's always some new sports or things that have been going on that get more attention in years, and it's always amazing to see these new sports and these new things and people that make it their whole life to put it or something new. I think I just seen on Pat McAfee today that there was a cyclist that won gold medal 8 years ago. She was working a normal job in New York City, started doing cycling like at 5 a.m. just as like a hobby, got good at it, moved to California, became an all-time quit her job, moved to California, became dedicated to it, and she won a gold medal all within 8 years of starting it. So stories like that are always cool. Oh yeah, this is good.
So I don't know why this guy is I'm sure he's a great athlete. I'm not able to do what he does, but based on what I've seen in this video, he needs to choose a different career path with something else that starts with P-O instead of pole vault because.
Sometimes this is when having a big dong or an average
hey, look, man.
Dong is a disadvantage. One time.
Look.
I like your face.
Look, I don't even know if he a grower or shower pause, but I mean,
he showed.
He definitely did. He definitely did.
Like I said, that's probably the only time that you wish, every inch matters. It mattered there.
It definitely mattered there. Yeah, 100%. So yeah,
trying to see what else was going on with that.
He should have tucked it in.
Yeah, social media for the Olympics is awesome because nowadays you don't even have to sit there in front of your TV anymore and watch all events. You just go on it and just watch the highlights, and that's good enough. So the Olympics has been fun, and we still got one more week of it, maybe 2 more weeks, week and a half. I think it wraps up next weekend. So we'll see if our boys basketball could bring home the gold and then some other events. So Simone Biles came back, performed. She won her 10th medal, 10th and 11th medal, I think. She's back. She took a couple – I think when we first started recording 4 years ago with utility players, I think we had an episode talking about her mental health, how she took off that Olympics and wasn't right. And gymnastics is one of those – like 90, obviously it's physical and you have to have the routine, but that mental aspect of it is huge. And she knew I'm not mentally right to go into this. And she dropped out. And then now you're able to see the confidence. She looks like she's having more fun, waving to the fans, laughing more. She's actually embracing. So shout out to her. I think we dogged her a little bit 4 years ago when we started podcasting it. Obviously very ignorant towards the ability of what she has and probably made some jokes, but now I could honestly look back and be like, hey, shout out to her for whatever she had to go through because that girl is a beast. So shout out to her and the gymnastics fan.
Yeah, she's got a lot of people going crazy about what she does. And yeah, man, gymnastics is one of those sports that you look at it and you're like, oh, that's not that tough. No, motherfucker, that shit hard. You're not getting all that air and spinning and doing tricks and landing on your 2 feet. Sticking that landing and doing. There's so many different events too that are involved in gymnastics. So, I mean, yeah, for her to really just get herself together and come out and she looks just as she did 16 years ago, or 8 years ago, before the other one. So yeah, I mean, she's definitely doing her thing and she's a GOAT and she's gonna go down as one of the greatest U.S. Olympians in history if she isn't already, which I think she is.
Did you want to share something quick or did you already do that?
Yeah, so this thing and this dude's been in the social media world, in the news with sports since I guess last year after the Nuggets won the NBA championship, and he was saying Noah Lyles, the sprinter.
Yep.
He was saying, oh, they shouldn't be, the world champions. They just won their league, and he was getting a lot of backlash and a lot of shit. People were talking about him, and I guess rightfully so, because worry about your own sport, bro. Worry about track and field. Like, do your thing. Don't get involved into other things.
Got him a lot of good attention, good publicity for him, though.
There's no such thing as bad publicity.
Eyeballs.
Yeah, there's no such thing as bad publicity. But my thing, he's great. He won the 100 meters. He beat, other people from the USA. He beat some Jamaicans.
And the Jamaicans, when you beat the Jamaicans, that's a big deal.
Yeah, he did his thing. Now, my thing is Dwayne Wade. I don't know what Dwayne Wade has got going on with his personal life.
That's your boy.
That's not my boy. Not my boy anymore.
Okay.
Not my boy anymore. I really don't understand what he's trying to prove. I don't see what agenda he's trying to push. I know what agenda he's trying to push, and
of course,
when D Wade had the thing in Miami at the Heat Arena, Kaseya Center, for that they were going to make a statue outside of it, there were a lot of pictures coming out of him, with his nails painted. Mm-hmm. And one, he's a grown man, so he could do what he wants. That's fine. But we all know what is happening with D Wade's son, daughter, whatever you want to call it. And, whether you agree with it or not, I don't think it's right. They are under 18. As a father, you shouldn't be doing those kind of things to your kids. But, hey, he can make his own decisions.
Is that a coincidence that a lot of these athletes or celebrities or millionaires, people that are out, that their kids are having the transgender and all the, a small percentage, but all the people I know having kids, they're not having the same situation go on. So I don't think that's a coincidence. I think a lot of it it's kind of weird to me, as far as it's happening to a lot of, I think Megan Fox has 3 kids and all 3 of them are trans. Like,
yeah.
Going on
and
that's kind
also, I don't think anyone was gonna say anything about Noah Lyles and having his nails painted. I don't think that was gonna be anything. I wouldn't have said anything. Maybe at home I would have been like, oh, this dude got his nails painted. Like, that's, as a man, the way I was raised and how I look at it, as a grown man, I'm like, oh, okay, having your nails painted, like.
Ironically, right now, 3 of my toenails are painted right now, but that's because I was on vacation and the little kids did it. So I
yeah, but that's a different thing. Like, I don't know, man. Just the way, and I guess maybe I have to, maybe change the way I look at things, but I don't.
Yeah.
And
it's fine. You can have your opinion. You're not somebody that's gonna disrespect somebody socially or in person or try to be disrespectful. You have your opinion, you have your ideology, whether it's religious or socially or not. You can have your opinion. You're not going around telling people I don't respect you and spitting in their face and calling them slurs. So you're fine. Yeah.
Yeah. So the fact that D Wade goes on social media, and he during the basketball game, he kept saying like, oh, his pronouns are he, him, talking about LeBron, and the comments in that were crazy. They're like, oh, what are your kids' pronouns? Oh, now you know how to identify genders, this and that, like, just crazy. And then he goes on this, and he's like, and he got his nails painted. Now what? Like, bro, no one was worried about that. No one was saying anything about that. Like, why are you trying to make this a thing now? Like, stay out of it, dude. Like, it's got nothing to do with you. You're not a track and field athlete. He's done a complete 180 since he retired.
Crazy.
Since he got out the league. I don't know what.
Yeah.
I know what it is. I know who it is. I know who caused it. But it's bad. It just, I don't know. It's just it's a weird thing to see someone that you would have never thought would be like that. And I've never met Dwayne Wade. I never hung out with Dwayne Wade, but just growing up watching him play basketball, you look at that and it's like, oh, now you see him and it's like, damn, is that like, nah, something happened to the real Dwayne Wade and they made this clone of Dwayne Wade and it's completely a different person. But
rightfully,
don't make things what they're not.
Yeah,
Don't make things what they're not.
and that's unfortunate. He's doing it to make it, you know, more regular and trying to defend his child and stuff like that. But she did, right? She did throw out the first pitch of the Cubs game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people were commenting there. It was like, man, I'm from Chicago. Can I throw out the first pitch at the Cubs game? Like it was.
Yeah,
that's why I love social media. It turns a serious subject into something funny because in general,
she hasn't accomplished anything. Normally, to like throw out the first pitch at a game or do something.
It is an honor. It is an honor.
You know, it's an honor. You should have some accomplishments in your life to do that, especially at Wrigley Field. You know, a prestigious,
especially right,
a prestigious stadium. You know, not just in baseball but all throughout sports. And I mean, I guess it's just. I don't really want to say a slap in the face to other women, but it kind of is because or girls. She's under 18.
Under 18, yeah.
She's under 18 for sure.
Interesting.
What's their name? Zaya Wade. Zaya Wade. She's 17. She was born in 2007.
Yeah, I don't want to spend too much time on it.
Yeah,
I think we focus on it enough, but. You know our opinions. We don't hate. We're here podcast for jokes and to talk about it honestly and openly as we dictate. Not saying wherever any of our opinions are not right or we try to influence other people the way to think. But
that's been going on for 3, 4, 5 years now. It's not anything that they just started. So it was
it's been like since 14, 13, I think.
Since this kid was young. So you know, 17, 18, like you know what's going on. You have an idea of things, but at 12, 13, 14, you still really don't.
Yeah, like I said, I don't care who you have sex with. All my friends, whether they have sex with a girl or a boy, it don't affect my life. It wouldn't affect my relationships with that person at all because I'm not friends with people. I said this before. I'm not friends with people because I'm not friends with the guys I'm friends with because they have sex with girls. Like, let's be honest, that's not why we're friends. It's just that if they were my friends and they choose to do something different in their personal life, just don't put it on me and shove it down my throat and make me feel weird about having to be the voice for you. I'll still be friends with you, and that's where it stands. That's how I see strangers too. Just don't push it on me and we're good. Just live your own life. I'm not going to hate. I'm not going to say anything bad. I'm also probably not going to say anything good. So I leave it alone. All right, that's it. Let's see. I'm going camping this weekend. That'll be fun. I haven't gone camping in a year. For Kelsey's birthday was it the other day? No, I think it's this. Is it this week? I think it's next week. She's me, Bree, and the Spos are going camping about like 2 hours north of here in Sebastian, Florida. From Friday to Sunday, it'll be cool. I haven't camped in a year. It's gonna be hot. I'm kind of annoyed that we're doing it in August because it will be so humid and uncomfortable. Probably go on a nice 48-hour bender of drinking so I could make sure I fall asleep, but it'll be fun to get outside, be active, and do something different. This is my 4th time camping in 3 years, and prior to that, I've never been camping once. So it's been a good experience so far. Last time I went camping, I got eaten alive by mosquitoes and ants where my feet blew up. So that was a little uncomfortable. Try to be prepared. Probably wear more socks than I probably normally would. But yeah, my feet were blown up last time I went last year. But it's good to get outside Mother Nature. Hopefully the weather will be good. No rain. Hopefully the rain has passed for this weekend. Before we go into UFC and maybe a little SummerSlam, some news, stuff like that. The NFL preseason started last week, Thursday. It was a Hall of Fame game. None of the starters played on the Texans and the Bears, so it's their 4th preseason game. So I think they get 3 more. So it's not expected that starters play, which is unfortunate because people pay money, people want to watch it, and you're watching guys that most likely most of the players on the field you won't see or have any relevance towards the actual season starter wise. But then they showed the new kickoff rule. Did you see it? Did you see kind of the talk on social media? Because I know you didn't watch the game. What do you think about it? It's the former XFL kind of start where you kick off, you got to land in the zone. We would show it here, but we can't video wise. It was either recreate the rule or there's no kickoff. So obviously this is a good thing at least, or an alternative for now. We'll see how it works out.
I mean, based on how it is, I much would have rather just had no kickoff. It's weird. It's different. It's going to get some getting used to. We might not ever get used to it. I miss the Dante Hall and Devin Hester days.
Oh, those are the best.
Really the best. We got
one of the most exciting plays in football, or the most exciting
it really
play
is.
when it happens.
And the thing is, it's not even that. It's just now with the way they have it, you know, with like playoff games, you know, AFC, NFC championship games, Super Bowls, that was what you look forward to. Like you got hype for that kickoff. You know, college is huge on kickoffs. There's a lot of chance that, you know,
it can
Miami
change
Hurricanes
the dynamic of the game.
You know, of course. And just pretty much how it is now, you just have the players lined up like 5 yards from each other. You wait till the other player, the kickoff return guy catches the ball, and then you go. I don't know, man. They're trying to limit injuries, but this seems like it could have more injuries. And then also the onside kick rule now is fucking stupid. It takes away from in every aspect of it. The whole point of an onside kick is either to be tactful and surprising about it. Now you have to let the other team know when you're going to do an onside kick. You only get a certain amount of game. It's just it makes no sense to me. It's fucking dumb. It's weird. I don't know what happens to the game I love.
It's why quarterbacks are getting paid more than ever, because now the quarterback matters. You know, with less running. You know, the defense, their rules. You know, not as physical tackling. Running backs aren't, you know, there's 5 running backs in the league that carry the ball more than 20 times a game. The kickoff rule, now it's becoming now teams are going for it on 4th down more than ever, because statistically, you know, going for it is better than punting it and giving away another possession. The game is super hyper offensive, quarterback driven, throwing the ball. So you're watching the game change all in the last 5 to 10 years. It's you know, I look back and the New York Giants, the team that they had when they last won, you probably can't even duplicate that nowadays. They didn't have a dynamic offense. They had a great defense, had leaders, veterans, but I look at those teams and those are things in the past. Run game, heavy run game, and defense. It's like, that's what I personally love in football. I love the glitz and glamour of throwing the ball downfield, the 40-yard plays. I love those. But like when you really watch football and you're rooting for your team, you much rather have a nice grinded out game where you win it and not have the high power of it being 52-44. Those games are crazy. They're fun. They're exciting, but man, is it really football as far as what we want? But I don't know. Football, good thing football is like my 3rd favorite sport to watch anyway. So I don't know. I could care less in general. But we'll see how the rules work out. The rule will evolve and they'll probably tinker it a little bit down the line. And also there's probably going to be a more strategy towards it as the reps and it happens throughout the year. You'll start to see from the beginning of the season to the end of the season, you'll start to see a little bit more strategy. What works, what doesn't work. I'm going to go into some UFC.
UFC. I caught some of the card.
Yeah,
I got it. It was a stacked fight night. It was a really stacked card. I think the reason they had it that way was because it was in a whole other country. It was in Abu Dhabi, and they needed to show out. Let me pull it up real quick. Sorry. I was out with Mike's kids on Saturday, and here in Savannah the service isn't the greatest, so. It was kind of shitty. I saw bits and pieces.
Did they miss
of it.
Uncle Fort?
Oh yeah, Oh yeah, they definitely did.
That's cute.
So let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna share my screen.
Yeah, you could just do the main fights or the ones that we kind of know about more
Yeah,
than the other
so
ones.
the one that I saw a lot of was this Azamat Mirzakhanov and Alonzo Menafield. Man, I thought Alonzo Menafield was gonna do his thing. That dude's a killer, but he got killed. He was minus 205. He got knocked out real quick in the second round. It was pretty nasty. This guy's legit. He did his thing. I didn't really catch this one. But I guess this guy got performance of the night. He knocked the Brazilian out. This was the people's main
Girl,
event.
Mackenzie Dern.
People's main event, men's main event. Mackenzie Dern, Lupe Godinez. I'm a huge fan of Lupe Godinez. I'm a huge fan of Mackenzie Dern. This was cool. This was a good fight. They both did their thing. And Mackenzie, I thought Lupe had won. I thought she had a chance to win. The judging has been a little whatever lately, but I couldn't really catch too much because my shit was buffering while I was out and about. So Mackenzie Dern got the dub. I don't know who she's going to fight next. That they need to fix that division. They need to figure something out.
She got beat up physically. I was in the car driving to the party.
Yeah, she did have a messed up face.
Damn, I didn't know if she was going to win it based on just because I didn't watch. I kind of caught the first round and the third round. And in between me kind of getting there to the party, I was like, damn, she got lumped up. So I didn't know she was going to win that.
Yeah, Lupe can box. All these Mexican girls, man, they got good boxing. The fucking champ is Grasso. Yeah, they got that dog in them. Tony Ferguson, Michael Chiesa. Tony Ferguson lost. He got subbed out. And he did the most Tony Ferguson thing. He said he didn't know if he wanted to retire or not. So he left one glove in the octagon. Like, dude, you're way past everything you've done. Like, you've been great
I looked.
in the
He's
sport.
lost his last 8 in a row since that kick knocked him out. Man, that changed his whole career.
He needs to call it a career, man. It's about that time. I get it. You got love for the sport. You've been doing it your whole life, but man, you're already bad. Like you've lost 8 in a row. Like there's no going out on top. It's no coming back from this. Like we can see it. It's just you've gone over that top of the mountain, my guy. Like we love you, but you're just making it tougher for us. Man, Marlon Chito Vera, Davison Figueiredo. Chito Vera just fought for the title a few months ago against Sean O'Malley. He made it all 5 rounds. Chito Vera's never been knocked down in his UFC career. And for Davison Figueiredo to move up in weight and be the first person to knock him down, that doesn't look that great for Marlon Vera. I think Davison Figueiredo probably gets a title shot now, depending on what happens with Sean O'Malley and Merab in the next few weeks. They're fighting at the Sphere, the Las Vegas Sphere. Tickets are over like $3,000 for that fucking card. It's insane. But I mean, Davison Figueiredo looked really good at 135. So I'm excited to see what he's gonna do in the next few months in that division. This fight right here, man. This dude, Shara Magomedov, he's a fucking killer, bro. They call him the Pirate. This guy, Michael, whatever his last name is, he's really fucking good too. He whooped Kevin Holland. This guy's, I mean, they're both beasts. But man, Shara I think he's got like one eye. He's got like a missing tooth. This guy is like just a fighter. Like you look at this guy and you're like, yeah, that man fights for a living. You could tell he is active. He's quick. He's fast. He's just like stand up, man. He can wrestle because he's from fucking Russia. He does his thing, man. He just looks so solid, so crisp. And this dude is a future. I mean, if not top 3, he's a future champ, bro. I think he has what it takes. He's just that good.
Yeah, I was calling him when they were fighting. I was like, oh look, Dylan, you got a ginger representing you. Cause he's full, beard, orange hair. I was loving it.
He had 139 total strikes, and he landed 60% of them, and 97 of them were significant strikes. So that right there tells a lot.
Oh yeah.
And then the main event, Corey Sandhagen, Umar Nurmagomedov. That's Khabib's cousin, for y'all that don't know.
How many cousins you got?
Who the fuck knows? Khabib is
Right.
all fucked up right now, man. Khabib got his house taken away, his cars taken away, and my guy wasn't paying taxes.
Ooh.
He's in the trenches right now. But yeah, Corey Sandhagen, man, I love Corey Sandhagen. I think he's one of the most unique fighters in the UFC. He just does a lot of crazy stuff, and you can't really read him too well. And I thought this fight would go not the way it did. I thought, Corey might have more of an advantage, but just because he's a lot like lankier, he's a lot longer than Umar. But man, that wrestling, bro, I seriously think if you want to take up any MMA skill or any like combat sport type of deal and you want to start, man, just do wrestling, bro, because it's going to help your cardio so much. It's going to help like anything that you do so well. And like, if you do want to like branch off and do other things, the wrestling is always going to be the key, because you're going to be able to tire out whoever if you get in an altercation, whoever you're doing anything with in the future so much, because man, it's a reason why we see these guys, these Dagestani guys, have so much success when it comes to the UFC, and not just against like amateurs, but against like Corey Sandhagen, who's the number fucking 2 guy in his division, and only guy above him is Marab and Sean O'Malley. So like wrestling as a base is probably your best bet, because man, you just wear these, you just wear people out, and that's pretty much what he did. He had so much control over Corey Sandhagen, and kudos to Sandhagen. He was able to move and get up a lot quicker than a lot of other fighters would. So that's kudos to that. But it was just too much, and he just kind of drowned him. And it was good. It was a stacked main card, really stacked main card, and then we got something very, very special coming. Not next week, but
I was trying to look.
The week after that.
Yeah, so
My
we got
boy
what?
Izzy is back.
We got
Izzy's
305
back,
going on. Where are they fighting? They're fighting in Australia.
Perth. Yep,
Which
Australia.
is crazy. That'll still be a nighttime fight. Main card starts at 10.
Yeah. Yeah, you got Kai Kara France, Steve Urseg, he just fought for a title. You got Gamrot, Dan Hooker, Tai Tuivasa, man, you got the Leech, you got Junior Tafa, man. No, come on. This is a very, very stacked card. I'm very excited for this. At least the main card is stacked. But anytime you get Izzy on there, bro, anytime you get the last style bender is a win in a championship fight. I hope he takes his belt back, because the middleweight division without Izzy on top is so weird to see. No, I'm not taking anything away from DDP, man. Dricus du Plessis is a fucking dog. He earned his belt. He fucking moved up and did his thing and fought for it. But it's such a weird thing changing of the guard to see that. So I need Israel Adesanya, the last style bender, back at the top. Well, also, so, she's saying how jet lag is probably real. A lot of these fighters train, like Izzy, he trains on that side of the world. Izzy's training in, Thailand. Izzy's training in Australia. He's training in New Zealand. Like, he's used to that. And so is Dricus. I think Dricus trains a lot in Thailand. And when they do these cards in these countries, most of these fighters are from out of this, you got, it's in Australia, so you got Kai Kara France is from New Zealand, you got Dan Hooker from New Zealand, Tai Tuivasa from, Australia, so they got that. They do a good job of that, at least. And then also these fighters are getting there like a week and a half, almost 2 weeks before, so they get accustomed to that. UFC does a good job of making sure that these fighters are there in time, so that jet lag doesn't.
Yeah, it's always crazy with that.
That last card, that is a good
Wild.
point. In England, they, for whatever reason, they didn't do a great job of that for the people over there.
Yeah.
But see this.
Yeah, that should have been a daytime fight over here. I didn't understand.
It's different because Australia is like really on the whole other side of the world, so it's going to be daytime for them. It's literally going to be Sunday. It's 10 p.m. for us, so it'll be like 10 a.m. for them. So they wake up and start drinking and they got fucking Izzy fighting for him. So I'm hyped for that. That's gonna be
and then we got the UFC Noche and in the Sphere with O'Malley. Yeah. So I'm excited because I was gonna do my birthday party either the 21st or the 14th, and I was trying to look up like what UFC was going on, any sporting events. I was gonna do it the 21st, but then that is on the 14th, so I might move it to that just so I could have people over, and then we can watch at least something at night and have people come through. So I'm excited for that card for sure. That'll be a visual. Not only is the card amazing, obviously, like there's 4 or 5 out of the 6 main card fights that are. If I know the names and I've seen the names that fight a lot, that means they're pretty well known. Because if I know them, then everybody else does. So I'm excited to watch that. Not only as a visual experience, I want to see how they set that up for a UFC card. That'd be fun. And like I mentioned to open up the episode, SummerSlam was this past weekend. I'm watching Raw now. I think Raw is in South Florida in, what is that, next week or 2 weeks? SummerSlam was great. Yeah, Logan Paul fighting. He did a move. I sent it to you via Twitter. If you could open that up, because I just want to show you.
He jumped off the rope.
Yeah, man. He is. I was telling people at the party, I was like, because a lot of people are like, oh, Logan Paul's fighting. And, you know, it's even myself when remembering conversations a year ago, I couldn't remember which one was Logan, which one was Jake. Now it's like, and I went from hating on them social media wise. Now I'm like, these guys are the smartest business people to ever do it as far as.
So I thought this was a great edit.
In sport. Yeah, he's a beast, dude. I watched that match two times. I had to rewatch it yesterday for the Kick-Ass podcast. This is amazing edit.
He posted this. Yeah, that's so sick.
For people who don't know wrestling, it's like I think I told somebody too. I was like, you could put like black him out as far as you don't see who he is, and he's wrestler A, and you just watch a match, you would think he's been doing it for 15, 20 years. He's so athletic. He's so smooth in the ring. He does the big spots like that shows his athleticism, but he also sells a lot. He takes a lot of bumps that somebody like him that is worth so much money outside of wrestling should probably not be doing, but he's all in on it. And I've come to 100% respect him as a pro wrestler. So I'm a big fan of Logan Paul. Obviously, he lost his belt. He had a good reign. I think he was the longest reigning U.S. champion in their history. So that shows a lot as far as, you know, in wrestling, it's all predetermined, but they don't give you a belt to have for a year unless you can grow the business. So he actually grew the belt as a stronger title. And then now LA Knight, which I thought he's one of my favorites to win it. But Roman Reigns came back. It was a lot of fun matchups. We had fun recording yesterday. Kick-Ass podcast out now, just to plug it again. Reviewing SummerSlam. We had a 2-hour podcast breaking down the match. I think she's uploading each match that we review in order, so you don't have to watch the whole 2 hours. You could just watch it. So SummerSlam is fun, and WWE doing big things now. They're getting a lot of people involved. They're making money. It's UFC, and we've said it, TKO as an umbrella or a parent company, and UFC and WWE are just doing major money things, like the events, what they do, the production, everything is just flawless. They're at the top of their game. So shout out them.
Yeah.
Let's
Yankees gonna make me believe again, bro. It's like that Riley Reid meme.
I had to rock the 2009 World
swept the Phillies.
My shirt, yeah, big time, right? That was a big series.
Did we sweep Toronto or did we lose?
No, 2 out of 3, but we played well. Judge is getting intentionally walk with nobody on now. He's getting that Barry Bonds.
Soto was pissed. I was at Publix doing carts or taking out an Instacart order or something. I forget what it was. And some dude's walking up and he's got an old school Phillies hat on. I'm like, yo, man, nice hat. He's like, oh, thanks, man. I'm like, you a Phillies fan? He's like, yeah, man, I love the Phillies. I started laughing. I was like, haha, y'all got spanked by the Yankees. He He's like, come on, man, why you got to do that? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, 14 runs, my boy.
Yeah, Philly fans, they deserve all that.
Yeah. Oh,
That
Philly
big
fans
time
in shambles
bullshit.
right now. They had lost like 6 in a row. They finally won. I just want to bring that up real quick, but before we get off, I want to get like on a serious note real quick,
Okay.
and it's because of social media, bro. I just seen it right now, and social media is going to influence how a lot of people vote this coming election. And I'm gonna start off by saying I really don't care who you vote for. I really don't care what political views you have. I feel as our two candidates that we have, based on how this podcast has been, and if you've watched this podcast, you know who I will be voting for. You know who I will be supporting. But that's just because of different things. But some of the things that I've seen the past week with how both of these candidates are doing social media, and I think it's a little bit differently how they're doing it. But you got Harris, Kamala Harris, the way that she's been conducting her convention. She had Megan Thee Stallion rallying behind her, twerking up in Atlanta, quoting Quavo, trying to pander to the younger crowd. And I get it.
Urban
That's fine.
crowd.
There's nothing wrong with that, but it is weird. And then, some of the stuff that Donald Trump supporters do also is very weird as well. So we're kind of screwed in both of these candidates that we have in the grand scheme of things. As a nation, I feel like, in America, we should be the strongest nation. We should be the, most advanced nation just based on everything that we have. And for these to be the two people that we have to decide that's going to lead us for the next 4 years is kind of fucked in all reality. And I saw something this morning. Again, it could not be true. It could be false, but it's just something that I'm seeing. I'm going to have to do a little bit of research about it. But I did see that the Democratic Party is paying, A-list influencers and big TikTok accounts to come out to their things and post about it. And they're paying for their hotels. They're paying for their flights. They're paying for everything, just so they can post on their social medias to try and not skew or whatever, but try and sway the election in one way. And I don't think it's right. I mean, granted, we've always seen this. It's always been advertising, on TV and on the news and stuff, like just them bashing each other. And that's another thing about politics that I don't really like. Like, why is it always one party bashing the other party and then the other party bashing the other party? Like, why are we doing that? Why aren't you focused on more so promoting what you're going to do to change things and things that really matter, like stuff like that? Like fucking Joe Biden tweeted some stuff about like, oh, I don't think kids and infants should pay for airport or for plane tickets. I'm going to change that. Like, dude, that's not what we're fucking worried about. If you do that, now you and I that are adults have to pay more for our tickets because kids aren't paying for their tickets. Like, do you not realize how the economy works and how economics and how business works? Like, you take money, income in one way, they're going to get it in another way. And then now you got Donald Trump on Aiden Ross podcast on his Kick stream, and they're doing the same thing just in a different way. And it doesn't matter if, Donald is saying different things than Kamala is saying. It doesn't really matter. But times have changed and people promoting themselves has changed and it is different. But if you are going to vote in this coming election, if you are able to vote, if you're registered to vote, I believe that you should really do your own research and really see, what happened these last 4 years and kind of just, make an educated decision for yourself and not let yourself be swayed or influenced by, people on social media that all they really care about is clicks and making money and trying to drive their audience up. That doesn't matter to them. They don't really care. They already made it. Like, they got their money. They're good. Megan Thee Stallion is good. She's straight. Like, she made her money. Quavo is good. He made his money. Aiden Ross is good. He's made his money. They don't care who the next president is. It doesn't matter to them. The people that matters to is, you and I, stuff like that. The middle class. I'm not even middle class anymore, but it doesn't matter, bro. Like I feel like you really need to make an educated guess and not guess, sorry, decision on what's going to happen for these next 4 years, because these last 4 years weren't great. So we can't have another 4 years of what happened, because it's going to get bad if we still have the same thing. So like I said, I don't care who you vote for. I don't care what you do, but at least make an educated decision on your vote, because it does matter. It does matter. We saw it. We saw it last time around. We're seeing what's happening in Venezuela right now, and it's scary to say this, but we're not that far from that. We're not that far from that. My parents have seen it. My family has seen it. Like, we're seeing it happen in a lot of countries now, and I don't think we're that far from it. And it's not a good look for us as one of the greater powers in the world. So
yeah, people think that just because we are America and we've been like this for pretty much growing and being democratic for decades and hundreds of years, now all of a sudden, like, things could quickly fall. History shows that every great republic or society or government, they eventually do fall for the worst, for the negative. So don't take for what we have every day and we so much focus on the negative because of social media and what we're able to be influenced by, but don't take it for granted the things that we do have great and the opportunities that we always have more than these other countries that have to live through, whether it's religious wise or socially. And we'll always be the best as far as that, but a lot of rights and a lot of things could go downhill if we're not paying attention, educating ourselves always. So well said on your end. Only thing I have is not serious. It's House of Dragon was a season finale. It's not going to be back for the next 2 years. It was the worst rated episode. No spoilers on this, because I know some people have things to do.
Yeah, that and then to watch it. One of the Game of Thrones episodes near the end. Those were like the 2 worst rated episodes.
Yeah, it was almost like a filler preview episode for the finale, which if the next season was next year, it'd be okay, but 2 years from now, it's a lot. Like, they should have gave us a little bit, but it seems like next season's all going to be about war and violence. So people are going to die. That's all I'm saying. No spoilers, but people were disappointed. I yelled at the TV when the screen went to black, because I was like, nah, there's got to be another scene or 2 left. And then it went to the credits. And I was like, yeah, I verbally yelled at the TV when it ended. So great show. They have another spinoff or some prequel or some storyline of another family.
It's like 100 years after House of the Dragon and 100 years before Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it's kind of like in between that. So another story. And they're doing, I think, 2 other spinoffs. They're doing animated series. So we're going to get a lot of Game of Thrones type production and shows. So I'm not worried about that. I'll always have something to watch.
I was at the crib earlier, and Shorty and I were laying up, and I was like, oh, season finale of House of Dragon. She's like, oh, you want to watch it? I was like, nah, not really. Like, I seen a lot of people making fun of it on the internet, and
no, it's worth watching. It's all
I know, and I'll watch it. I'll watch it in my own time. I don't want to put her through that. She didn't really like House of the Dragon. She says it's a little cringe. We've been watching Game of Thrones. She likes Game of Thrones a lot more. So
yeah, I'll rewatch it. Probably
I'll watch it in my own time and see what happens. But yeah, we'll see.
All right. Yes. Yeah. Nahaya, definitely get on watching House of Dragon. It's worth it. The new season. I've watched the first season twice. Probably rewatch the second season from now until 2 years from now. My life will probably be extremely different by the time season 3 comes out. That's for sure, as an adult. But that's episode 133. Appreciate everybody for hopping on earlier. Sorry about the audio from me. If it was a little, I'll probably figure it out when I go listen back to it. We'll have the timestamps within the next hour or so. Subscribe, tell a friend, send our podcast to somebody. And then if you want to come on as a guest, we're always welcoming new ideas, new topics, whatever you guys want. Elvis Escobar, Fort Sama, enter the lab, exit the lab. Peace, yo.